Hey guys, and welcome to my top lane guide for SETT. If you've seen my previous video showcasing Hob combos a while back, then this guide will cover SETT in the top lane. I will be creating a 3-part series where I cover SETT in the top, jungle, and support roles later. Let's get straight into the top lane guide for SETT. We'll be going over summoner spells, keystones, skill maxing, itemization, lane phase, matchups, and finally his overall win condition. For summoners, I always take teleport and flash into every matchup. Moving on to SETT's runes, I take double adaptive stats and either armor or magic resist depending on the matchup. Never take attack speed while running Hell Blades because you want extra adaptive force while trading since you already get attack speed from Hell Blades. For keystones, take Hell Blades, Cheap Shot, Ghost Pour, and Ravenous Hunter. First, I take Hell Blades on SETT. By design, this is SETT's most powerful dueling keystone versus the likes of Conquer. If you've already seen my Hob combos guide, you already know why. Second, I take Cheap Shot. This rune is always triggered by Facebreaker openers, adding more true damage into a Hob cycle. I always take Cheap Shot second in the domination tree. Third, I take Ghost Pearl. This rune is used to cover the river after your trinket runs out. This rune is extremely underutilized and allows SETT perma priority throughout the lane phase. The extended vision is a lifesaver. Last, I take Ravenous Hunter for on-hit sustain paired with Titanic Hydra and Sanguine Blade. The on-hit effect from this item triggers the healing from Ravenous Hunter, gives you healing for every Titanic proc you make with a single auto attack. Paired with Sanguine Blade, Blood Pursuit gives an 80% attack speed steroid that allows you to trigger Ravenous Hunter extremely fast. This makes up for SETT's overall weakness of having no healing, and altogether with this build should give SETT 20% lifesteal. For secondary runes, I take Futures Market and Approach Velocity in the Inspiration tree. I take Futures Market to rush Titanic Hydra as early as possible. I discovered that when you're ahead by a certain amount of kills in lane and only need 150 to 200 gold to finish a tier 3 item, like Titanic Hydra at level 8, it's game breaking. I've won so many matchups in the lane phase because of a single rush on SETT, which is fundamentally Titanic Hydra, is always the best option for SETT. Fundamentally, this is a creative build because even if you're behind, getting items early in this meta is extremely important. Last, I take Approach Velocity. This increases SETT's movement speed after you use Facebreaker and hit them with a Showstopper. You can activate this rune consistently when your abilities are off cooldown. It gives SETT more utility to keep up with his target. Plus, Approach Velocity's movement speed got buffed from 7% to 15% movement speed, which is game changing. For skill maxing, I max W first for the max shield on Haymaker and the max true damage on this ability. Second, you max Knuckle Down. Last, max Facebreaker and his ultimate whenever respectively. Moving on to items, I build Titanic Hydra, your boots of choice, Sanguine Blade, Righteous Glory, Steric's Gauge, and Maw Melmortius. For beginner items, take Longsword and 3 potions into every single matchup. Get Tiamat on your first back, and afterwards, build straight into Titanic Hydra immediately. Titanic Hydra is your first core item to build on SETT. Titanic by design is the most effective item in the game for SETT. Second are your defensive boots of choice, either Ninja Tabs or Merc Treads, depending on your matchup, but always get a defensive pair of boots per SETT. Third, I take Sanguine Blade. Like stated previously, Sanguine Blade gives SETT healing, something he needs, and synergizes extremely well with his kit. While playing SETT top, he must be played as a duelist and a split pusher. Fourth, I take Righteous Glory. Righteous synergizes extremely well with his ultimate Showstopper. The slow from this item and utility provided makes SETT's engages extremely powerful because it slows your target you approach while giving you utility, allowing you to land flawless teamfight openers, and in my opinion, SETT's ultimate is the best for starting 5v5s. Utilize this in teamfights when fighting for objectives around the Dragon or Baron pits, or for offensive plays like sieging the enemy base or defending your allied towers. Fifth, I get Steric's Gauge. Steric's Gauge's lifeline and bonus attack damage is SETT's trump card and increases Haymaker's damage at max grit. This is a very powerful item designed to absorb damage. Last, I take Maw Melmortius. Maw is the last item to get on SETT because it rounds out Haymaker's max damage to 1000 true damage at level 18 and increases his magic resist above 100 MR. This item, along with Sterix Gage's Lifeline and Life Grip from Maw, both activate upon taking damage, and getting low to half HP activates each item's passive that gives SETT incredible survivability, a magic shield, and a normal shield on top of his Haymaker. Moving on to his lane phase and matchups, SETT is very good against 80% of the matchups in the top lane. The other 20% of champions he struggles against are champions that have innate healing in their kit early game and can survive short trades with SETT and can absorb Haymaker. These champs include Alawi, Olaf, Volibear, Mordekaiser, and Darius. Other than these matchups, SETT has a high lane kill rate while dueling and skirmishing with this build against the rest of the 80% of champs in the top lane. Throughout SETT's lane phase, you always want to prioritize trading early if your allied jungler starts bottom side of the map. This gives you lane priority and allows you to have a level advantage over your opponent since you have jungle presence. And after the towers fall, if you're winning lane, just keep split pushing side lanes and group only for objectives if it's a Baron or an Elder Drake. If you aren't ahead, just group up for objectives and help your team secure them with teleport. Last, let's move on to SETT's win condition. SETT's win condition lies within split pushing side lanes and forcing the enemy jungler to come to you throughout the entire game. Every split push you make with SETT with this build allows you to 1v2 every time, forcing the enemy team into a 4v3 scenario, giving your team more leverage in securing objectives. SETT's early game from levels 1 to 8, once you get your Titanic Hydra, is unmatched against any other champion in the game, especially when you get Tiamat early. Your combos get even more deadlier as you finish your items. Generally, overall, you want to play SETT extremely aggressive early, later as minion waves slow push back to you and freeze into your tower. Afterwards, just punish and look for all-ins with this build. This is designed to guarantee you a kill, and if you play SETT correctly, you should get a bunch of solo kills in your lane. This has been my top lane guide for SETT, and hope you guys enjoy and take it into your own matches. My next guide will be my in-depth jungle guide for SETT, and until then, see you in my next video and stay safe, guys.